Hi, Dr. Ruth Anderson here with Enlightened World. I'm so excited to be here with you today. On launch day, we are launching Gateway to an Enlightened World, Collective Life Lessons to Support Planetary Transformation. It is available on Amazon as of today, and I'm excited to have one of our co-authors here with me today. We've got Elisabeth Williams. And Liz, welcome. I'm so glad you're here with us.
Thank you, Ruth. It is an honor. I am so excited to be here with you, and I'm so excited for this day. It's been fun since about 6 o'clock this morning. We've been posting and sending out emails and just watching the interviews, and it's really exciting. So thank you.
It is exciting. And I am looking at your chapter, and it's called River Guide. You want to share with us a little bit what prompted you to write this particular article, River Guide?
Well, it's interesting. It wasn't planned. So recently I had the sense that I should go back and read some of my journal entries. So I love to journal. I don't do it consistently. It usually kind of comes in waves. But what I love to write, but I also really love to go back and read what was written because it provides clarity when we look back over, the last 6 months or a year and kind of see what life has brought to us. It provides clarity, I think, for the journey. So something had said to me, go back and reread. So I started to do that. And through the process, I came across something that I had written probably a couple of months ago. And it was intriguing to me because I thought it kind of synthesized what I was experiencing in my life. And again, something said to me, why don't you get up and go type that on the computer rather than leaving it in the journal where it will be lost? And so I thought, all right, I'll do that. So I got up and I typed it and left it on the computer, not thinking I would do anything with it, but just to have it. And it wasn't long after that you and I met. And then not long after that you said, would you like to, include a piece in the anthology that you're creating? And I couldn't help but think, is that why I was led to type that up and have it available? And so when I typed it up, I called it River Guide, and I sent it to you along with another piece and just said, will this work? Not really knowing what exactly you were looking for or what the anthology was about. And then you said, yeah, let's use this. So that was how it got there.
So will you walk us through the concept that's behind River Guide?
Yeah. So this is my experience in my life has been, I feel like I've always sensed a calling, a bigger calling, a greater calling, but it's not been clear what that is. And for a variety of reasons, I haven't pursued it. I think a big part of it was fear, but I also think I was always finding other responsibilities, I'll call them, things that I felt I needed to do. And some of that was work and marriage, and then children, and my extended family. And I always felt a sense of responsibility to almost take care of them, make sure everybody was okay. And so that I felt like in some ways kept me from a deeper calling. But it's not from a place of regret. I've been very, very blessed with the life I've had. But there was always something that continued to nudge me. And so as my children grew, I felt like I was being called out, but there were a lot of fears that that kind of came up because I had stepped out of the work world for so long, and I had raised my children, and I kind of created this cocoon and was, I think, in some ways playing small. When it was time to step up, I was really afraid. And so that piece is essentially describing that fear and what it took to overcome that fear. And then the realization that even though I've taken those steps, I am still not certain where I'm headed. I'm just living in trust and yet feeling very much alive that I was willing to take the risk and step up and into that courage and be guided by something greater.
So Liz, how much of that fear of coming out of the closet, if you will, is it's really about a spiritual nature of yourself? I mean, if you were going into real estate, would that have been easier for you to just come out into the world?
a great question. I think if I had gone and just gotten a job, maybe doing something that I knew I could do, it would have been simpler. I felt like I was being called to something bigger that was really going to force me to step outside my comfort zone. And it has. I mean, it's almost, the last 5 years, it's almost been a daily basis of living outside my comfort zone, which is very stressful in so many ways. So yes, and I don't know that spiritual piece. That's another great part of the question is, when I launched Partners, I was calling it spiritual philanthropy and felt comfortable doing that. But as I got out into the real world, and the real world where I spend most of my time is the business world, the corporate world, I wasn't sure that was going to serve me by leading with the spiritual. So I started to back off from that. And it wasn't that it went underground, it just was, I wasn't leading with that. And it's been recently, and that's why the timing of this is so interesting. It's been recently that I have felt that I'm not being completely authentic. Partners, stands for Authentic Women Empowered. That I'm not being completely authentic if I don't share that spirituality is a very, very important piece of my life and my calling. And so maybe that there's been an underlying fear that I haven't even recognized, but now I'm being really forced to confront and say, hey, this is who I am. And so,
it's feeling a little like a quinceanera over here as far as our own coming out party over here.
Yeah.
And you come with so much divine guidance around you. I see Divine Mother, I see Archangel Michael, it's glowing behind you. I see guides, and they are like, woohoo! They're like throwing this party that you are laying it out here on the table right here with us.
Yeah. I have felt that I had an experience this week where I was shown that there's a whole team there to support, and it's not just me. We all have this team of angels and saints and teachers and guides available, not only to support us, but to provide knowledge. And we just have to start asking. We have to recognize that and start asking. And then I think it's taking that time to be quiet enough to hear what you're being guided to. And then trust and take the next right step. All you need to do is take that next right step. Yeah.
Right. And you have no idea where this path is leading you. And darling, none of us do.
Mm-hmm.
Because the divinity just shows us, at least for me, on a daily basis. I get a little to-do list, and I try to get down the things on the to-do list for the day. And sometimes the next day it feels like I'm being pulled in a completely different direction. And then I find out maybe a month later, oh, well, because that piece had to happen before this other piece could come in and be finished up. So you are being divinely guided, and none of us know where we're being led.
And that is so comforting and so important, particularly for someone like me who's come from a place where I create the vision, I create a strategy, I set the goals and the tasks, that I move on them. And I rarely am thinking about what I might be missing or what grace might want to drop into this. I get so laser focused, and I know that I'm being called to approach life differently. And it's fine to sense that vision, to see that vision, and to start to kind of lay out a plan, but always open to what you don't yet see or know, or the pieces that have to happen, as you were saying, you aren't even involved in, but there are so many other pieces that have to happen for this to come together. So it is definitely a different way of living. It's a different approach to life, but I absolutely feel that it is the way we all need to be thinking about living from now, especially at this time when it's just so important that more of us are willing to step up and listen to that guidance and trust and move on that.
Well, I am so proud of you for sharing this chapter and for coming on here on Facebook and sharing your truth. That's beautiful and it's huge. So,
Thanks. Thank you for the opportunity, Ruth, really.
so Liz, if people want to follow you, if they want to learn about the work that you're doing, how do they contact you?
So I have a website, so www.awepartners, that's awepartners.com. And you can go there and you can connect with me on LinkedIn or Facebook. And I have a newsletter that I publish. So if you're interested in the work I'm doing, it's free, and I'd love to have you part of the community.
Great. And I'm looking very forward to doing more work with you in the future. So
I am as well, Ruth. Thank you.
absolutely. So friends, Gateway to an Enlightened World. This is the first of a series of 2 that I'm hearing is going to be at least 3. So please pick it up with Amazon. And with that, Liz, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. Much love.